Related, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate it all. We need to look at what is happening on our continent right now because the mask is completely falling off. We are witnessing a level of hypocrisy that should make every single African who believes in the liberation, dignity, and future of this continent absolutely sick to their stomach. While our leaders are traveling from one place to the other, from one capital to the other, standing behind expensive podiums, shaking hands, and preaching about a unified Africa, something very ugly, very dark, and completely unacceptable is happening on the ground.
Ghana rejects the South African president's state visit to Ghana because of the xenophobic attack happening in South Africa. Now, when I saw the caption, I didn't know what to believe. I did a little research, and lo and behold, the Ghanaian government rejected a planned state visit from the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, because of the unaliving of innocent Ghanaians and the constant attack happening in South Africa. Now, according to the report, it said Ramaphosa had been expected to visit Ghana in the first week of August to renew the long-standing relationship between the both countries. However, Ghanaian authorities said the visit could no longer go ahead until concerns over the safety of Ghanaians living in South Africa are adequately addressed. And this decision follows the unaliving of a 40-year-old Ghanaian fashion designer, Bashiru Isaac, whom the Ghanaian government said that he was unalive during the demonstration linked to the renewed anti-immigrant attack in South Africa that happened on the 30th of June 2026. Now, the Ghanaian government have been protesting about, telling the South African government to do something, provide who unalive a Ghanaian national in South Africa, ensure all that you're going to protect the lives of Ghanaians in South Africa. Until then, the state visit cancelled. Sometimes, yeah, it really feels like some of us really want to be Ghanaian, even though some of you Ghanaians, they piss me off. Some of you are annoying me, but sometimes it doesn't really cost a lot to protect the people. It doesn't. You see, this is the South African president was supposed to visit Ghana. It's not the Ghanaian president going, The South African president was supposed to come to Ghana. The Ghanaian authority said, no, you're not coming to my country until you ensure me and you assure me that the lives of Ghanaians in your country will be safe. And the one that was spied by your people, provide a culprit. Give me an answer, what happened to them and how you're going to protect my people in your country. I remember sometime in Nigeria, when our president had to go to the United Kingdom, a day after they unalived many people in Plateau State. Many people were unalived. Not even a message from the presidency. Not even a declaration from the presidency. Not even a word of encouragement from the presidency. The next day, he flew to United Kingdom on a state visit. But this is a Ghanaian president saying, don't come. Don't come. I don't want to see your leg for my country. I go kata. If I see your leg, I go use catapults. You see, it doesn't really cost a lot. This is the kind of leadership the people want. No country has it all figured out. No president can answer the questions, every questions of his people. But do the bare minimum. Ensure people that their life is safe with you, in their country, outside their country. How many Nigerians have been unalived? We've not heard a pim from the Nigerian government. That explains it all to you. My Ghanaian people, some of them are vexed me still.
Yeah, Ghana president denied South African president a presidential visit a few days ago, due to xenophobic and so many accusations on South Africa. So let me tell you guys something. So South Africa, I just want to tell you guys, big up. Stay united. You know what I'm saying? Stay strong. Let me tell you something. I know you guys we accumulate a lot of condemnations, a lot of attacks, a lot of confrontations. But I just want to let you guys know, I am not against what you guys are doing. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to trying to fix Africans, like trying to, to put a little bit of pressure on African leaders to do better, and then to develop their various nations in Africa. You guys are doing amazingly, wonderfully well. You know what I'm saying? So do not let any sanctions from any African countries to to get on you guys. You guys are amazing people. I love you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I will continue to stay in solidarity with you guys. I am part of, you know, those voices that says Africans must stand up. I'm part of those voices that says we must do better. You know what I'm saying? We should be living better than how we live right now in Africa, because Africa is the richest continent. Guess what? The people that put us in this mess are our leaders. You know what I'm saying? They are slaves to their slave masters. Why they made us slaves to themselves? You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? Because they refuse to wake up. You know what I'm saying? We own the most natural resources on earth in Africa. Guess what? We should be living like royalties. We should be living like the wealthiest on earth. Guess what? We are living in Africa as the poorest on earth. This is unacceptable. South Africans, do not let any sanction from any African countries to get to you guys. I want you guys to know that I am with you guys, you know, in spirit, in everything. You understand? I love the solidarity, I love the unity in that country, and I urge every African countries. You understand? Ghana, let me tell you something. This thing that South Africa did, you know, it didn't come from hate, you understand? Is to send a message to the leaders of Ghana and to the entire leaders in Africa that they should start, you know, developing their countries. You understand? If everybody moved to South Africa, run to South Africa, how the country will collapse. You understand what I'm saying? So is it wrong if every countries in Africa are developed, so that South Africans will also be able to travel to other countries in Africa to have fun, to enjoy life, to seek for a better life? Must everybody in Africa run to South Africa? This is what I'm talking about. You understand? So it's time for every leaders in the continent to start working, to start establishing their nations, to start, you know, helping their people to stand. You understand what I'm saying? Rather than ignoring the people, neglecting the people, and the people are frustrated, and then everybody want to run to South Africa. Please stop this. Ghana is a lesson to you guys. You guys should hold your politicians accountable, hold your leaders accountable. It's not bad if we are looking like South Africa. If our countries becomes as developed as South Africa, it's not bad. Is there anything wrong with that? We have all the resources to do that in Africa. Every 56 states in Africa, every 56 countries in Africa should be like South Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So please, do not put the frustrations on South Africans for telling you guys the truth. It's time for Africa to rise. Thank you.
Ghana has declined a request for a state visit by the South African President, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, due to the xenophobic attacks on Ghanaians and other foreign nationals. You know, I always talk about timing. Timing is very important in everything that you do. Timing, even if you and your mother and you have something to tell your mother, or you have something to discuss with your mother, make sure you time it. Make sure you don't go to her when she's angry, or you don't go to her when she's not ready to listen to you. If you go to her when she's angry, it's either she will chase you away, or you will be talking and she will not listen to you. So timing is very important. You understand? So in this case, you can tell me that all the African countries head of state, the presidents, are still in good terms with His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, the South African president. Not all of them. 90% of them are still angry. They are angry at the South African president. So this is wrong timing. If I were to be the president of South Africa, I will make sure that I solve the issue. I solve the issue of xenophobia in South Africa before I will even request for a state visit in any other African country. Yes. And one thing people don't know is that, see, Ghana, when you touch one Ghanaian, you touch all of the nation. You touch the entire nation. And President Mahama doesn't joke with his people. You understand? You know, it's obvious. It's very obvious that the South African president is coming to Ghana just to come and strengthen the relationship. He's coming to strengthen the relationship and reunite with Ghana. But this is not the way. This is not the way forward. This is not how. At this point, the only way you can strengthen the relationship between Ghana and South Africa, or between any other African country and South Africa, is to solve the issue of xenophobia. That is the only way. That's the only way to reunite with other African countries. So if I were to be the president of South Africa, I would only solve the issue of xenophobia. After solving the issue of xenophobia, after making sure that all the foreign nationals in South Africa are safe, then I will then request a state visit. Then I will visit all the African countries and reunite with them and strengthen the relationship with them. That is how it's supposed to be done. That is how it's supposed to be done. But as it stands now, Ghanaians are still in South Africa crying. Ghanaians are still in South Africa, like not comfortable. That's number one. Number two, the government of Ghana also lost millions of dollars repatriating their people. And you still want to visit? No, it's impossible at this time. So this is wrong timing, Mr. President. This is wrong timing. You understand? So the only way to reunite or to strengthen the relationship between South Africa and the other African nations is to solve the issue of xenophobia, is to make sure that all the foreign nationals in South Africa are safe. My name is Big Freedom. Peace out.
We are talking about the African Continental Free Trade Area. We are signing beautiful agreements on glossy paper to open our borders. We are preaching Pan-Africanism to the United Nations, to the Europeans, and to the Americans. But right now, as we speak, the streets of South Africa are red with the blood of fellow Africans. And the latest breaking news makes it clear that the patience of the continent is finally running out. Reports are breaking across the geopolitical landscape that the government of Ghana has flatly declined an official visit from South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. Think about that for a moment. One of the founding giants of Pan-Africanism, the land of Kwame Nkrumah, the very soil where the blueprint for a united Africa was drawn, is telling the leadership of South Africa, do not bring your plane here. Do not set your foot on our soil. Do not bring your entourage into our capital. Why is this happening? Because Africa is tired of public relations stunts. We are tired of the diplomatic games, the fake handshakes, and the empty press releases while our people are being hunted down like animals in the streets of Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, and Pretoria. For years, we have watched these horrific xenophobic attacks happen over and over again. And what do we get? From the leadership in Pretoria, silence, excuses, deep concern, bureaucratic statements. They are more worried about the public image of their country, more worried about their tourism numbers, and more worried about their standing in the international forums than they are about the actual lives of the human beings being hacked to pieces on their watch. Let us look at the raw and vanished truth of this situation. You have a government that looks completely clueless, standing by helplessly while frustrated, hungry, and jobless crowds run through the streets, destroying anything and everything they perceived as foreign-owned or African-owned. Think about the complete madness of that phrase. African foreign-owned. How can an African be a foreigner on an African soil? How can someone from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Malawi, from Zimbabwe, or Mozambique be labeled an unwanted alien, an illegal intruder in a country that was liberated by the collective sweat, the financial resources, and the blood of the entire African continent? They want their massive corporations, their retail giants, and their telecommunication empires to expand into West Africa, into East Africa, and into North Africa. They want to feast on the resources and the consumer markets of other African nations under the guise of free trade. Look at Ghana, for example. Look at Goldfield Ghana Limited in Takwa. For 33 years, South African mining interests have been feasting on Ghanaian gold, extracting billions of dollars from our soil. Now, their lease is coming to an end in April 2027, and the debate is raging in Accra about whether the government should refuse to renew it so that Ghana can reclaim its wealth. And suddenly, right in the middle of this massive economic tension, there is an urgent desire from Pretoria for a state visit. Suddenly, Cyril Ramaphosa wants to fly to Accra. Suddenly, they want to dialogue. They want to appease. They want to talk about partnership. But you cannot come to our house to look for business deals when our brothers and sisters are being beaten to death in your streets in front of your own police force. A Ghanaian national, 40-year-old Basiru Isaac, was just shot dead in Cape Town during these chaotic anti-immigration protests. Countless other Africans from Southern Africa have been hunted down, their shops looted, and their livelihoods reduced to ashes. They are even turning on their own citizens. If you cannot speak Zulu fluently, or if you come from a different province like Limpopo, you are targeted by these mobs and treat them as less than human, demanding to know their tribal origins before deciding whether to beat them or to let them pass. While this blood is flowing on the asphalt, where is the leadership of South Africa? The leadership is hiding in Pretoria, playing big international politics. They love to talk tough on the global stage. They want to lecture the world about international law, about distant conflicts, about human rights in Gaza, and about global justice at the International Court of Justice. But they cannot even walk into KwaZulu-Natal to face the local leaders and stop the madness on their own streets.